Hey everyone, this is Joe from Automate Notion, helping you build awesome automations to make your life easier with Notion. Today we're going to be building an automation to create a graph based on data within a Notion database. With this, you'll be able to also automate the data that's coming into that database, and the best part is that you can do it completely for free. So let's take a look at the end product and then dive into the tutorial. So here's our finished product of showing two graphs here based on the website visits, sales of a website, and the conversion rate. You can add in new rows of data and it'll automatically update the graph to show. So let's head into the tutorial. All right, let's dive into the tutorial. We have our Notion page set up with the title of database to graph, and I've already shared this with Automate.io, so I have that integration set up. So first things first, we're going to put a table right in this page, and we will name it test data. Now that that Notion database is loaded in, what we'll be doing is creating a graph based on website visits and sales from a website. So first, we'll delete this tags property and add in website visits as a number, as well as sales, again, as a number. Next, we need to create a created time column as well as a last edited time. Now we're going to remove these two extra rows here and put in some test data. While we're at it, we'll add in another row for conversion rate. And that'll be a number, and in this situation, it would be 0.2. Perfect. So let's hop over to Google Sheets. I have this sheet set up, just called Data to Graph, and we're going to one-for-one copy over the columns that we set up in the database, excluding the created time and last edited time. First will be name, website visits, sales, conversion rate. And underneath those, we need to put a double hyphen within each of the cells that are underneath those column names. Perfect. So let's hop over to Automate.io now, and we will create a bot. I've got my Google Sheets and Notion integrations set up and authorized. So first, we're going to hop into the Notion one, and we want to select new item. The database is going to be our test data, and the created time property is going to be the created column. Next, we will integrate that with Google Sheets, where we'll add a row every time a new page is created. And in the spreadsheet, we're going to click on Data to Graph, as well as Sheet 1. Now we'll drag over the properties. So for page name, it's going to go into the name, page website visits to website visits, sales, and conversion rate. Awesome. So now this is all set up, and every time that we add a page to that Notion database, it should go directly over into Google Sheets. So we'll save this and turn it on. Perfect. Now that we have that set up, let's head back over to Notion and put in some example data for us to use. So we're going to delete this initial test data. For week 1, we'll do the similar situation, 0.2, create week 2, and week 3. All right, now that we have these all set up, let's head over to the Google Sheets and wait for those to populate in.
5 minutes later.
Alrighty, now that data has populated into Google Sheets, so now we can move forward. Alright, so let's head over to notion.vip/charts. We're going to scroll down to connect to your Google Sheet here. Headed back over to the Google Sheet, we're going to grab the document ID, how it describes, and just make sure that the sheet is shared so that anyone can view or edit. We'll paste in the document ID there, that's between the /d and /edit in the URL. For sheet name, we left it as the default, so that's just going to be sheet 1 down at the bottom here. For data range, we want to go from A1, so this top very leftmost cell, and then we just want to include website visits and sales right now. We'll create a separate graph for conversion rate. So headed back to Notion charts, we'll go to C999, just so it's inclusive of every row that we add in the future. For chart type, we're going to click on column here, and we're running Notion in dark mode. The horizontal axis and vertical axis formatting can be left as is, and then we can change the colors to our heart's desires. And finally, we can click on Make Magic at the bottom. We'll grab the URL that it gives us, head back over to Notion and paste that in, and then we'll click on Create Embed. Wonderful. Now we have our graph all loaded in. It'll show us our website visits and our sales each week. You can scroll over it and see how everything is going. Awesome. So next we will tackle the conversion rate. So we'll create a line graph for that so we can compare the conversion rate week over week. So let's create the sheet for the second graph that we're going to be making. So we'll add a new sheet down at the bottom here, and we will enter equals in curly brackets. Inside of those curly brackets, we want to type sheet 1 exclamation mark A1 colon A. And that will import all of column 1 from our first sheet. And then we'll do the same thing for column B, but for column D. So equals curly brackets, and within those curly brackets, sheet 1 exclamation mark D1 colon D. And that imports our conversion rate into this sheet over here. So now we can make another chart over in Notion Charts. We'll refresh the page to clear it. Again, we'll grab our Google Sheets document ID. Then the sheet name now is, we have sheet 3 here, but if you created this, it'll be sheet 2. So ours is sheet 3. And then for the data range, we want A1 to B999. For the chart type, we're going to stick with line this time. Again, we're running Notion on dark mode. Horizontal and vertical axis are fine as is, and we'll make it a green graph. We'll click on Make Magic again, and copy the URL that it has at the bottom. Heading back over into Notion, we're going to enter in that URL and click on Create Embed again. Now we have a great graph of our conversion rate over each week. We'll put this side by side with our other graph here. And now you can track both your conversion rate and a line graph and your website visits or sales, or anything that you'd like to create using this method. So this works great for data that comes in, like in this situation, once a week. It doesn't need any editing afterwards. However, if you do need to edit that data, we do need to build a couple of other bots in order to automatically update the data to graph, which we will cover in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Love to hear in the comment section below what you plan on using this for. Also tag us in your awesome creations on social media at Automate Notion on Twitter and all your other favorite social medias. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.